All right. Thank you all for being here. Again, my name is Dr. Katie Sherry. I'm with the Commission on P12 Engineering Education from ASEE, and we are so thrilled to welcome Dua Chalker and Stephanie Weber from NCWIT and CU Boulder to talk about democratizing access to engineering education in K-12 classrooms. And I will let you take it right away, Dua. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and welcome.
Thank you, Katie. As she said, welcome. We are very excited to be here today to talk to you all about teacher engineering. So my name is Dua Chalker, and I am the Senior Project Engineer at Teach Engineering. I graduated from the University of Colorado Boulder with a civil engineering degree. I was actually with the Teach Engineering team since I was an undergraduate student. I became very passionate about engineering education while I was an undergrad and decided to continue with the team after graduation. It's been 14 beautiful years now, so I've had the opportunity to do many different things, which ranges from standards alignments to professional development to various special projects. Currently, I manage the publication team. I kind of help authors submit and publish high quality activities on our site. And I'm super happy to be here today. And we'll pass it over to Stephanie to introduce herself.
Thank you, Dua. And Katie, would you mind advancing the slide for us, please? My name is Stephanie Weber. I'm the Assistant Director of Programs at NCWIT. And as part of that role, I am privileged to work with the Teach Engineering team, whose work I'm still learning about. We actually welcomed Teach Engineering into the NCWIT portfolio back in January of this year. And I'm just every day learning something new about this amazing program and the team that puts this all together for you. So I will be a lot in the background today, but I will be talking a little bit about NCWIT and how Teach Engineering fits into it. But without further ado, I will let Dua take it back over because we want to find out who's in the room today and what you know about Teach Engineering. So I will hand it back to Dua.
Thanks, Stephanie. I'm going to share um, the Mentimeter. So hopefully you had a chance to join our Mentimeter. You can scan the QR code or go to Mentimeter, menti.com, sorry, and use the code 2332240, which will show up on the screen. So again, please join our Mentimeter. You can join at menti.com and use the code that we have up there. And hopefully everyone is seeing the first question. Yes. We have a professor in the group, which is awesome. STEAM consultant. Great. So I'll wait like probably a minute for everyone to kind of get their responses in. So far, looks like we have a good group of people. Ooh, I like that. Future teacher professor is with us today. Awesome. Um, Teachers. I'm always so fascinated with the word cloud because you just never know what's going to pop up. But it looks like we have a lot of professors, teachers with us today, which is great. We're going to have a lot of helpful resources to share with you all with Teach Engineering. And I can't see, Katie, how many participants we have. So I want to make sure that I'm, giving enough time for anyone that wants to join. It looks like we have 11 responses now.
If you and I are not playing, then that looks about right.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next question. Um, how familiar are you with engineering design and the design process? So are you very familiar, somewhat, not very, or not at all? Okay, good. It looks like a lot of you um, are very familiar, which is awesome. We'll have a chance to tap into some of your knowledge in a fun design challenge that we have for you all a little later in the presentation. So yeah, it looks like we're all either somewhat familiar or very familiar, which is great. I think we're going to move on to the next question now. Have you used Teach Engineering before? And if so, how often do you use it? Okay, good. So it looks like we have some people use it occasionally and kind of equal between yes, but don't use it that much. And then almost half of you have not used Teach Engineering. So that's wonderful. This will be a great presentation to kind of give you information really on Teach Engineering, give you some new resources that maybe you're not very familiar with, and then just plenty of resources that new ones that you've never seen before. So very exciting. Thank you all so much for participating in this Mentimeter for us. It's always nice to see like who's with us, but get a better understanding of the audience. So thank you all so much for participating. And Katie, if you can then I think reshare your screen, that would be awesome.
And I think we're going to go to the next slide.
Yes.
Thank you, Dua, for having us find out who's in the room. Lots of professors with us today and future teachers, and we're really excited to have you here. I wanted to just take a moment to talk about the NCWIT, the organization that is now the new home for Teach Engineering. As I mentioned in the introduction, we were very excited to bring Teach Engineering into our portfolio of programs and initiatives at NCWIT. NCWIT's mission is really to broaden participation in technology and other STEM-related fields, really focusing on advancing innovation. And NCWIT is a nonprofit. We actually are also at the University of Colorado Boulder, where Teach Engineering had lived for a long time, just in a different group. So it was really a natural transition, being that we were at the same university. And NCWIT is a little bit different. We actually work on educational and professional tech cultures. That's one of the areas that we work on, where we work with organizations, institutions, universities, and colleges to really build inclusive cultures so that more people can thrive in tech industries and tech career pathways. We also have a lot of direct service programs, and this is where Teach Engineering fits in really well. We have programs like Aspirations in Computing, Counselors for Computing, and now Teach Engineering. All of these programs work in concert with each other to really examine things like computational thinking and engineering design mindset. And we offer these programs free of charge to students, educators, counselors, those in advising roles, informal after school networks, and those kinds of things. Next slide, please, Katie. NCWIT is an ecosystem. We have over 1,600 member organizations, those that are in the nonprofit K-12 space to those that are in the higher ed space. Many different companies and corporations and also community members are part of this ecosystem of work that we do to support students, educators, and those in the tech space, anywhere from the K-12, we say from the classroom to the boardroom. Um, What's really important for NCWIT is research. We have 16 research scientists on staff. We actually have over 55 staff members, 16 of them being research scientists who help us produce resources, research-backed resources to really look at inclusion in tech and how we can really support students through their entire journey. So you can see Teach Engineering here fits in the K-12 sphere, but really all of these things are interconnected because as we have students move through the K-12, they move into higher ed, they move into the workforce, and we're really providing them with this support along their entire journey. So like I said, Teach Engineering is one of our new members to our programs and initiatives. And today we're going to be focusing on what Teach Engineering is, how you can use it with students and outreach efforts, and also how you can get more involved. So I'm glad, while you've in our poll said a lot of you hadn't used Teach Engineering before. Next time we do this poll, you'll all say that you use it all the time. So I'm really excited for Dua to talk more about Teach Engineering and also our upcoming design challenge. So thank you. And I'll answer any questions about NCWIT at the end if you have any. Dua?
Thanks, Stephanie. So Teach Engineering is a free digital library of classroom-tested, standards-aligned K through 12 STEM resources, all created in collaboration with educators across the nation. Teach Engineering was founded in 2001, really to help educators put the E in STEM by making applied science, technology, and math really come alive through the engineering design process. Since its inception, Teach Engineering has had broad reach and influence. We have published over 1,900 free lessons and activities from materials contributed from over 100 university partners. As of the end of last year, Teach Engineering had 2.1 million unique annual users and over 7.8 million annual page views. Next slide, Katie, please. So we produced a 1-minute and a 6-minute video, kind of give you a little background of what Teach Engineering is. We're going to play this 1-minute video first. And if you're interested in the 6-minute, you'll have these slides available to you at the end of the webinar, and you can find it in the appendix. So Katie, if you can please share the video, that would be great.
Was it sharing sound? No, okay.
Yeah, you have to change the input for that.
Typical. This functions. Give me a thumbs up if you hear anything.
Teach Engineering is a free online resource available to anyone and anywhere of K through 12 STEM curriculum. It is aimed to democratize engineering for everyone.
Well, the Teach Engineering Digital Library was a collaborative initiative right from the beginning among several engineering colleges, but it really dates back to the National Science Foundation was funding digital libraries in STEM fields. In the Teach Engineering Digital Library, all the content is aligned to a myriad of standards like Common Core math standards, most recently the Next Generation Science standards.
We also have available for teachers or educators to come up with their own curriculum and then work with us to get it published on our website. And then we also are always looking for people to review our curriculum.
Scientists study and explore the universe. Engineers create what's never existed before. So engineering is the ultimate creative, interdisciplinary enterprise.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. Next slide. So as the video pointed out, Teach Engineering really is all about aiming to democratize engineering for all youth. Our STEM resources are accessible. We are 100% free, so no registration required to access our resources. Most of our resources use low cost and readily available materials that can be found at grocery, hardware stores, or your local home improvement stores. Our ever-growing digital library contains over 1,900 free resources, ranging from lessons and activities, as well as different maker challenges. And all of our resources have been created by educators for educators. So they have all been tested in the classroom, so you know that they work. And they all have been reviewed by external teachers as well as engineers to maintain the high quality of our digital library. Next slide, please. So our curriculum is also standards aligned. We really focus on the next generation science standards, as well as state standards, as well as Common Core math. We do provide turnkey solutions with comprehensive details, including clear learning objectives, complete materials lists, step-by-step procedures, assessments, and worksheets. And we have our original how-to videos to really help teachers visualize how these hands-on activities can come alive in the classroom. Next slide, please. So Teach Engineering uses engineering as a vehicle, essentially, to integrate science, math, and technology in K through 12 classrooms through inquiry-based resources that really demonstrate the creativity of engineering, and that's relevant to the lives of youth. I wanted to share some testimonials that we have received from teachers over the years. So a middle school science teacher in Texas said, "Teach Engineering's greatest strength lies in its ability to support teachers at all levels, from novice to expert. This program has been there to support my growth as an educator and my students' learning. Thanks to Teach Engineering, many of my STEM students have gone on to work as engineers in various fields, and I am confident that this program will continue to inspire and support future generations of engineers." Additionally, an elementary science teacher from Florida said, "I created 8 activities for Teach Engineering that I've implemented in my classroom. Using TE for my students had multiple benefits: active engagement through authentic and meaningful problem solving, exposure to STEM pathways and careers, engaging in cross-curricular opportunities, and increasing their confidence to solve problems. As a teacher, TE provided me with ready-to-go curated lessons that do not require many resources, training and professional development leadership opportunities, cross-curricular and grade-level planning, connections, and an overall sense of confidence in teaching elementary science." Next slide, please. So Teach Engineering then serves as an essential tool for educators aiming to integrate engineering concepts into science education. Aligning with the next generation science standards really makes sure that we're not only being educationally rigorous, but also relevant with the current educational standards. The alignment provides educators with really a reliable framework for integrating engineering into their science curricula, where they're able to foster an environment where students can develop critical thinking, problem solving, and collaborative skills. Next slide. In addition to the thousands of free lessons and activities, Teach Engineering also offers various supplemental resources. We have a What is Engineering page, which features a 3-minute video introducing students to engineering. We have a Why Teach Engineering in K-12 page, which features important reasons why engineering should be taught in K-12, including the different engineering habits of mind. Our Types of Engineering page features the various types of engineers, detailing what kind of work they do, and we also list related Teach Engineering curricular resources that you can use across the different grade level. With those, we have info sheets that you can actually print and use in the classroom as well. We have a popular topics page that features wide-ranging popular topics that educators teach on a daily basis, such as Newton's laws, energy, simple machines. Each topic then takes a deep dive into the engineering applications and features related Teach Engineering curricular resources across the different grade levels. So if you want to learn more about these resources and explore the others that we have, check out our site, and you can also sign up for our newsletter to get the latest updates from Teach Engineering. And thank you, Stephanie, for putting that in the chat. Next slide, please. So now for the fun part that I'm super excited about. I really want to invite you all to wear your students' hats and participate in an engineering design challenge. Your challenge is going to be to create a prototype of sound canceling headphones to reduce the level of noise to protect hearing. Next slide. So like engineers, you will have to design within constraints. You can use really whatever materials you have on hand, any office supplies, household materials, Legos, really anything that you have around. And you will have 6 minutes to create and test your prototype. And based off of the initial poll, it sounds like you all are pretty familiar with engineering design and the design process, which is awesome. But I want to note that this specific engineering design process that we have here is created by Teach Engineering. There are many out there. We like to focus on the 7-step approach, and we have students really use this design process through all of the engineering design activities that we have on our site. Next slide. So obviously, we're not going to have time to really go through all of the design process steps, right? Obviously, that students would normally do in the classroom. So instead, we're going to take 3 minutes to brainstorm possible solutions and select the promising one. So I invite you all to, take a piece of paper out, write down some ideas that you'll have, and then select the best one. And I'm going to start the timer, or Katie, if you can please start the timer for us, that would be great. Again, think about anything, right? Get creative, look around for ideas for inspiration of what you could possibly use to create your headphones. You have a little under 2 minutes to go. Hopefully you've come up with some good solutions. Start to think about maybe which one you think might be the most successful. So we have just a little under a minute. So if you haven't selected your most promising one, maybe start thinking about narrowing it down from your options. Alrighty, time is up. Hopefully you came up with some good ideas and selected one that you think would be the best. Um, let's move on to the next step. Oh, there you go. So now you will have 6 minutes to build your prototype and test it out. So again, you can use any materials that you have lying around, office supplies, even your kids' toys, whatever you really have around. So take 6 minutes to create and test your prototypes. If you can start the timer, Katie, that would be great. Thank you. Feel free to step away from the screen, go get any supplies that you might need. And keep in mind, if something doesn't work, that's okay. Try something else. It's all about, learning from failure.
Would it help if I played a sound so that you can tell whether it's working or not?
I don't know, will that be distracting?
Okay. No worries.
I'll give you all a heads up at like the th 4 minute mark, 3 minute mark.
Maybe we played the Jeopardy song. We would all like our blood pressure would probably go through the roof. But
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. So 2 minutes have passed and we have 4 minutes to go. Keep in mind, these are prototypes, so they don't have to be perfect. And if it's different than your original idea, that's okay too. Alrighty, we have 3 more minutes. All right, we have a little under 2 minutes left. It's like Stephanie is testing. in the testing phase.
What? I can't hear you.
Okay, looks like it was a successful design there. Ooh, Katie's very interesting. Feel free to, share your camera, if you're comfortable with that.
Katie, you kind of look like Megamind.
I was thinking the same thing. She can't even hear you.
It's because it's working so well. What's yours?
All right, we
I'll
have a little
explain it,
under a
actually.
minute. We have a little under a minute. I want to make sure everyone has time to finish building, and then we'll spend a couple of minutes sharing out. So with 30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds left, do your final touches, final testing. All righty. Time is officially out. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That seemed very fun. And if you go to the next slide, Katie, we would love to see what y'all came up with. So if who wants to share their design and then also maybe speak to how you could improve your design if you had more time. It looks like, well, Katie,
I
I'm
could
really interested to hear about what yours is. So if you don't mind sharing, starting us off, that would be great.
I don't mind. This is a dog bed that usually lives underneath my desk. And I tried to fold it over maximally. So it's folded in half and then, but it's only two layers. So what I'd really like to do, oh, and I shoved my gloves under there too. I was just trying to get as much volume of material, but I really need some testing. It's because I can't tell if two layers is better than one, and one would be a lot easier to balance, if I'm honest. And the tape in the hair is a problem. So I'm thinking in the future I could iterate on the clasp and maybe make it not be tape.
Nice.
I really need some testing. I can't tell how well it's working or not.
Yeah, I kept looking for the foam cups and I couldn't find foam cups in the house, right? And so not only could I not find the foam cups in my house, I went through my daughter's bathroom to see if I could at least find that fancy headband she uses to put makeup on, and I couldn't find that either. I know it exists someplace, so if we can just envision the foam cups over top and then the headband, the makeup headband. And so that's the best I got. I just ended up with two little bowls. So I think in order to improve my concept, I would have to go ahead and find the foam cups and the headband, knowing she uses it for makeup. So it must be relatively convenient on her head. I don't know if it is or not. I haven't done much makeup with those things. But my hope is that if I leverage a resource that is currently utilized for interaction with the head or the face, that maybe it will be a little bit more convenient in its utilization.
I love that, Jason. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome.
Jason, it sounds like you had some time constraints as far as the engineering design process. Maybe
Yes.
maybe some more time would also help, but I love the explanation.
I find it's more a function of a better focus out of me. So again, the time correlates with focus, and that's my deficiency. But you're very much to that point.
Well, my design here are two. This is I'm upstairs in my office, and so I'm wearing my lovely CU hat that my daughter gave me, and I have this packing. It's like packing material on my ears. And at first, I was gonna like put tape under the hat and like have them hang down, and I tried that, but then these were flapping, which wasn't uh keeping the sound out. So then I put the tape down here, which keeps it closer together. So that works, and I tucked it under the hat. Um, so it actually works pretty good. I would say though, from like an aesthetic standpoint, probably wouldn't be able to sell too many of these, although maybe a CU hat with like side planks for like a winter football game might actually, maybe they would actually sell. Like you could combine the baseball hat with like a winter type hat, like kind of like a hybrid. Different function. That would be for warmth. But anyway, that was my design. Pretty simple, and I just grabbed the packing materials that were sitting underneath my work desk.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing, Stephanie. It sounded like you were able to kind of come up with even newer solutions with that process. So that's always great in the design process. Anyone else like to share?
So my design is nothing as well designed as the ones I've just seen. So I used the cardboard from a paper towel and cut it, stuffed it with cotton, and used string to connect them. But now I still have to hold it. So I need a lot of improvement. I'm going to go through that phase of trying to improve this to stay on. I like the headband idea. I think maybe that would work. So there you have it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely the time constraint gets the most of everyone with the short amount of time that we have. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I want to note that we actually do this activity with our PD participants over the summer, and it's always so fun to see what everyone comes up with. It's actually a screenshot that we took of some of the participants last summer. And in similar fashion, we would like to, maybe take a picture too of your designs that you've created. So if you are comfortable with that, please, keep your camera on, wear your headphones. I'll count us down. We'll take a picture. If not, that's okay too. But I wanted to kind of, you know, grab this all in a nice picture because y'all look so beautiful.
I think Katie needs to share like a different view, or how does that work? Or maybe it's the way you see it, Dua. Yeah. All right.
I think
Did
I
that
think how it was before was okay. So if you want to you share the screen again, maybe that pushed Stephanie up the screen at least to take a picture. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm gonna count us down. So are we ready? 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. That was super fun. Just kind of see everyone partake in that challenge. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And we will move on to the next slide in a minute or so. Awesome. Thanks, Katie. So what we just did together was actually part of a teach engineering activity called Controlling Sound. If you are interested in learning more about this activity or conducting it in the classroom, you can use the code to get there. And this is just one of many examples of hands-on engineering design activities that we have on Teach Engineering. Next. And thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that in the chat. As I mentioned before, we have a YouTube channel. It features more than 550 videos to support our lessons and activities. We have almost 20,000 subscribers with more than 8 million views to date. If you're already subscribed, great. We published 42, new videos since January for you to look at. And you can just really use these as another resource to support your teaching for those teachers for engineering activities in the classroom. So subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. There are many ways you can get involved with Teach Engineering. In addition to the 1900 plus activities that we have on our site, you can submit and publish your very own hands-on design activities. We have more information on that in the appendix. You can also scan to go to our Submit Curriculum page, which will then walk you also through the different steps of how you can do that if you're interested. We also are always looking for curricular reviewers. So if you are a teacher or engineer really wanting to give back and review some of these awesome materials that we get submitted, you can also do so as well. And as I previously mentioned, we will be sharing the slide deck with you all afterwards. And we will also attach a PDF copy of this Get Involved flyer that you can also share with your peers as well. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter to continue to stay up to date with all things Teach Engineering. Next slide, please. Thank you. In addition to our Get Involved flyer, we do have a Teach Engineering promo card that you can share with your peers. You can download it from the NCWIT site, which Stephanie will be sharing in the chat. And while on the resources page, you can also check out other research supported NCWIT resources. Awesome. Thank you so much there, Stephanie. Next slide, please.
And I think this might be me.
Yes.
So, this presentation was really, really short, but we want to encourage you to connect with us at other places over the next year. So we will be in Philadelphia in March at the NSTA conference. We hopefully will be doing several engagements there, including workshops, poster sessions, and other types of speed talks. And then, of course, we are planning to be in Quebec this summer at the ASEE annual conference, where we'll also be doing several different types of presentations. I'm currently filling out our pre-conference workshop proposal to do a 3-hour workshop on a deeper dive into Teach Engineering. And we're also doing several sessions during the regular conference. So we encourage you to connect with us there. We'll be putting all of our engagements, including any kind of professional development opportunities, other kinds of conferences, other things that we have coming down the line in our newsletter and also on our social media. So that really is the best way to find out what's going on and how you can connect with us. Let's see, next slide is, again, just a repeat of how you can get in touch with Dua and or myself. We also have a general email at teachengineering.org. In fact, Dua put a link to the Contact Us page. Feel free to reach out that way, but then also to us directly. We would love to hear from you and help you in any way that we can. Let's see. And then I think we have time for questions or any comments that you have. We're happy to stick on and answer those for you. And I know there was one question about the professional development, so I can start with that if you would like. Or feel free to turn on your mic and ask questions as well.
Well, Stephanie, if I can clarify, my question was about PD, and I'm really interested in, the title of the talk, Democratizing Engineering Education in K-12. How does your PD approach that with teachers, trying to engage teachers in opening access, opening inclusivity? Like, what does your PD do to encourage that?
Excellent question, Katie, and somewhat complex. So let me answer in a couple of different couple of different parts of that question. Um, we have done professional development past several years over the summer, which has been a 4-day PD. The last couple summers have been virtual. I think we've stuck with that after the pandemic, and before that, my understanding was they were in person. And in that PD, we talk a lot about using materials that are inexpensive, readily available, so that we're not limiting, we're not creating a barrier of cost for students and teachers to really implement engineering and engineering design thinking into their classroom. So I think a lot of that stems from that concept of really making sure that that cost and availability of materials from schools that may be undersourced are not, don't feel like they can do engineering education. Moving forward, our professional development is going to look a little bit different. And we're still in development of what all of that looks like. You all here today is an example of some of the kinds of professional development we're going to be doing in some short stints, but in our longer experiences, we're also going to use readily resourced, inexpensive materials, but we're also going to start incorporating some research best practices on how to make sure that students feel included in the classroom, that they can see themselves in engineering, giving them examples of what different kinds of engineers look like so they can really make that association. Does that person look like me? Having people share their stories on how they got into engineering or into STEM. And so bringing a lot of NCWIT's research and resources into the professional development. So when teachers are doing these types of activities or professors are doing outreach activities and utilizing Teach Engineering, they're also going to have other resources to lean on or to point to and say, research shows if we do this in the classroom, students are going to be more engaged. If we do this, we can recruit more students into our classes, those kinds of things. So that's some interesting things coming. And then another thing, I just want to plant a seed, but it really is truly just a seed right now, and we are growing it very quickly. It's a fast growing seed. Is that we are going to be launching the summer of 2025 something called the Engineering Champions Initiative. And what this is going to be is we are going to be bringing in educators from around the country to do a deep dive onto what Teach Engineering is and then how to bring this back to their communities in an engaging, inclusive way so that students feel like they belong in engineering. And so this is going to be a professional development opportunity, multiple days. We anticipate it's going to be at CU Boulder, so bringing you into Colorado in the summer. If that's not incentive enough, I don't know what is. But anyway, more to come on that. And again, we are developing that very quickly over the next several months, hopefully to launch summer of 2025, to bring a cohort of educators together to really be those engineering champions, to go back into their communities and bring this to students and educators in a really inclusive way. Is that open to anyone? It'd be great to share. Yes. When we have the announcement of what it is and how you can apply, we will absolutely share it with you all.
That'd be great. I know a lot of our ASEE members are connected to their local communities and their local schools. So obviously you've got great reach as Teach Engineering by yourselves, but as a bonus for our ASEE members, to put that in the hands of our partners.
Absolutely. We would love to have you do that.
And I just wanted to add another way that we democratize our PDs really is just we're open to everyone. So it's not just, science teachers. We really are trying to expand to really any teacher. We've had art teachers, we've had a music teacher, we've had a history teacher. So really how you can bring engineering into any classroom is really special, right? So we're always happy about that.
Thanks. Does anybody else on the call have any questions? You can either put them in the chat or feel free to unmute right now.
I have a quick question. Are the activities sortable by the standards so I can just sort based on I've got a gap in this standard. What might be a couple activities that I can go ahead and pick and choose through that are just aligned with this specific standard because I might be missing that or I might be looking for something in that area.
Yes. So if you go to standards
Oh,
and
there you
under
go.
search by standards, you'll have an opportunity to select, whether you have a state standard or next generation science standards or Common Core. And depending on the standard, you should be able to see the different curricular resources that it aligns to.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Mhm. And if you ever need like help with, figuring out an activity for a certain standard that you want to meet, feel free to email us. We're happy to kind of match you with different activities that there are, even beyond standard alignment, maybe just grade level, subject areas, things like that.
Do you all go to pre-service teacher programs with this? I know that we had a member who was interested in this webinar, couldn't make it though, who likes to use Teach Engineering in the pre-service teacher preparation. And they sort of were wondering, like, do you deliver this exact address to those teachers in say, a science program to get them more familiar with engineering, period?
Um, I mean, do we have any historical? As I said, I just came on in January, so I don't know if we've done this in the past, but have we done that in the past?
Um, I mean, I think so. I think Jennifer Taylor might know a little bit more about that. I haven't necessarily been involved with that part of it. But it is definitely something that we'd be interested in doing,
That's great, yeah.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely, Mindy. I was just going to call on you.
Oh, Mindy's here. Awesome. Yes.
I was going to say that yes, we have definitely worked in the realm of pre-service teachers. In fact, that was a chunk of time with Teach Engineering was specifically geared towards working with pre-service teachers at a local university, University of Colorado Boulder, where we're housed, and then going into those classes and doing things just like Dua did here today, with pre-service teachers in STEM. So I think that it is definitely something that, like as Dua and Stephanie mentioned, could be done, and we do have a model for it, but we could make it better. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Mindy. I didn't realize you were on the presentation. Thank you. Are there any other questions? I think we have about 5 minutes left.
Well, if not, as we said, we are going to send through Katie a PDF of this presentation for those of you who attended who want to look at the slides again. For those who could not attend but are watching the recording, and also links to the different websites and pages we refer to, as well as the Get Involved flyer. So lots of great information coming your way. Really appreciate the opportunity to present to all of you and to your organization. And we hope this is the first of many, presentations we can give about Teach Engineering and the ways that you can use this with students in your classroom or with pre-service teachers or as outreach efforts, so more people can do engineering. So appreciate you having us here today.
Well, let us thank you as well. Thank you very much. And thank you. Special shout out to Diane Golding and Jason Bruns and Christy Shyrock for joining us on our call today. All members of our commission, thank you so much for being here. Mindy Zarsky, of course, and to all of our special guests who are getting to know us for the first or maybe the manyth time. So thank you again. We can't wait to see you in real life in Montreal and continue all the conversations.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. You all are amazing.
You are. They are.
Thanks, Mindy.